It's senior night here in Clay County at Orange Park High School. It's High School 912 Roundup. It's Orange Park versus Ridgeview, and it's coming up next. Hello and welcome once again to another edition of High School 912 Roundup. I'm Terry Norvell, joined by Justin Barney as we find ourselves in Clay County. Orange Park hosting Ridgeview. These schools, Justin, only down Blanding Boulevard a piece, as they say.
Yeah, it's a good county rivalry. I love the county rivalry. St. Johns County games, Clay County games. There's something about playing your rival, especially when you're a few miles down the road from each other. That's what makes a rivalry so competitive, and this is one of those examples.
No doubt about it. We've got a lot on tap tonight. We will talk to a superintendent. That's right. We also will have a community spotlight. You're going to enjoy that. We'll have our historic look back. That is a lot of fun. Also looking at highlights, and as is tradition, we will have a winning coach and a player right here on set. Speaking of coaches, Justin Barney, Orange Park's coach, kind of a long and winding road to find his way here to Orange Park.
Yeah, really, Tom McPherson, 1998, he started at Ridgeview. It's first year. He was the offensive coordinator behind Jim Barnhart there. Jim left the following season. Tom took over that program, stayed at Ridgeview for many years, had some of his best success as a coach at Ridgeview. The team that he's facing off against tonight, he had 74 career wins. His time at Ridgeview had some very, very good teams. Took some of those teams to 8 and 9 win seasons, deep into playoffs. Tom ended up back here after leaving, going to Baker County, came back to Orange Park. He's miles down the road from where he had the best success of his coaching career.
And these two schools obviously not as old as Duval County schools, but nonetheless a pretty good rivalry has brewed because they're pretty close.
Yeah, Orange Park is one of the most storied programs in Clay County, not even Clay County, but in the area. When you think of football in the area, you think of Orange Park as one of those teams, whether it's been under Coach Danny Green, Craig Nossi. Some guys have come here and done some good things. And Orange Park is, in the past years, it's been overtaken by the Flemings and the Oakleys. But not again, when you think about Clay County football, it starts with Orange Park.
It's good stuff, Justin. Thank you very much. With that, we will take it to our community spotlight. Alan Verlander will bring that spotlight presented by Duval Motor Company.
Thanks, Terry. This week's High School 912 Community Spotlight presented by Duval Motor Company is with Jacksonville native and business owner and my good friend, Josh Baker of Baker Sports. Thanks for joining us here.
Well, thanks for having me.
So when we started High School 912, you were one of the first people I called, and we sat down and said, this is something that we want. You're in sports, but we want this to be kind of a holistic approach to the entire high school kid. And you jump right on board, and I want to thank you. I've done that privately, but I want to thank you publicly. Why was that important to the mission of Baker Sports?
It's just wheelhouse for what we do, Alan. I mean, we're so involved in the high school community and the sports community, and we want to tie it all in together and provide the services, help provide the services that High School 912 is providing for not only the sports and the athletes, but for all the students.
You were impacted by COVID. This whole thing hit us, and you and I were talking almost every day about what's the FHSAA going to do, and are we going to start football, are we not, or whatever, and with our Bold City Showcase that we obviously had to postpone. But how did that affect you? I know y'all were going a little crazy over there.
Never thought I would be watching a YouTube version of 11 hours of a FHSA board meeting, hanging on every word, just finding out if we're playing, when we're playing, to know how to proceed. So it's been a roller coaster ride for sure the last 6 months.
Y'all are involved in so many things. Kind of give us a snapshot of what are y'all working on now?
We're just trying to be better. Not necessarily bigger. Bigger's always better, and where the numbers are concerned, but just trying to be better, to provide a better service, better products, faster to consumer for our customers, better than we have in the past.
All right, so the $1 million question is, in the world of apparel and merchandise and team sports and individual sports and all of that, what's next for Baker Sports?
we're getting more and more on the manufacturing side. We want to control as many variables as we can, so we're doing our own custom uniforms, and we have been now for 6 and 7 years in our building now in Jacksonville, cut and sewn in Jacksonville, made in the United States 100%. We're just growing that line, becoming more and more a manufacturer.
So in 5-10 years, is there a long-term goal of here's where we'd like to be?
We want to grow into a Southeast brand and cover the entire Southeast. Right now, we're covering all of Florida and all of Georgia and parts of South Carolina, and we will continue to grow into Alabama and North Carolina.
And I know you're not just involved in high school sports. You've got a whole college market and all of that you're involved with. So you've really kind of grown as a company since you and I've first known each other to where you are today. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So that's Josh Baker of Baker Sports. Let's head over now to Hays Carlyon with a historical look back presented by the CSI companies.
Thank you, Alan. I'm so thrilled to bring you this week's High School 912 Roundup's historical look back as we honor former Reigns outfielder Vince Coleman. This is a story about perseverance. We remember Coleman stealing bases like few ever have in Major League Baseball. But his story began with a setback. Coleman was cut from the Reigns baseball team his freshman year. He received no scholarship offers. Instead, Coleman walked on in football and baseball at Florida A&M. He would eventually earn a scholarship kicking and punting for the Rattlers. Coleman even made the game-winning 34-yard field goal in FAMU's 16-13 upset win over Miami in 1979. But Coleman would find his fame and fortune on the baseball diamond. The left fielder was selected in the 10th round of the 1982 MLB draft by the St. Louis Cardinals. Coleman would make a smashing debut in 1985, winning Rookie of the Year honors with 110 stolen bases and scoring 107 runs. Coleman went on to steal at least 107 bases in his first 3 years. He would lead the National League in steals in each of his first 6 seasons with the Cardinals. Coleman was a 2-time All-Star and ranked 6th in MLB history with 752 career stolen bases. Thank goodness he never gave up on his dream. Coleman certainly had an amazing career, and we're thankful his legend was born in Northeast Florida. After the break, we will head back to Orange Park High School to Terry and Justin on the field.
High School 912 Roundup is brought to you by CSI Company, Duval Motor Company, and Bono's Barbecue.
CSI, headquartered in Jacksonville, is a nationally recognized staffing company with 4 divisions: CSI Professional, CSI Healthcare IT, CSI Tech, and CSI Financial.
The industry has changed a lot through technology, but in reality, it's still people business. The client wants a particular type of person for a particular type of job, and it's our job to find the right fit for that client.
We have a strategic approach, so it's not just about sending candidates your way. It's learning your culture, your environment, the type of people that work well in that environment, and try to find the talent that's the right fit for you the first time.
For CSI, we want to develop a long-term relationship, and we have a lot of salespeople that are still working with the same clients all these years later because they work hard, they do a great job, but they've built that relationship over time.
We've been around for 25 years now, and the fundamentals of our success are our people. That's what this is all about. We're a people business, so we're here to stay.
Being a high school student isn't easy, and sometimes all they need is just a little help. That's the goal of Jacksonville High School 912. We are committed to furthering the success of the entire student in academics, sports, and life. To collaborate and support high school students and athletes to reach their dreams and increase their chances for success after graduation. Jacksonville High School 912. Academics, sports, life. Established by Airstream Ventures.
Pop Warner football is coming to Orange Park High School. That's right, the inaugural First Coast Bowl series will begin on November 14th. All youth football teams are invited to participate, ages 6 through 14. The event will pit teams of different leagues against teams out of their league. Visit airstreamventures.com/bowl for information and to register. We are back, and it is time for News and Notes, presented by Powering America. Justin, what do you got?
Another edition of our High School 912 News and Notes. Another edition of News and Notes on the High School 912 Roundup, and we're going to go across the board this week, starting with cross-country, the Katie Caples Invitational, one of the most prominent cross-country events in Jacksonville. It's usually run at Bishop Kenny. This year it switched venues and was held at the New World Sports Complex on Jacksonville's west side. Familiar names at the top of the boys and girls team standings. Bowls sweeps the event in both the team categories. Bowls girls have not lost in this event since 2013. They win that event handily. Bowls boys win that one as well, but the pretty good individual story out of there, St. Augustine Junior runner Riley Barber, dominant in the girls' elite event. She posts a time of 18:02 on the 5K course, wins that event with a personal best time. Pretty good start for Riley Barber. 3 events this year, she's won all 3 of those. Second place behind Riley Barber, Lacey Watford of University Christian, runs a time of 18:47. Jillian Candelino of Bowls, third in 18:58. Nayla Atik from Nice, fourth in 19:01. And Maxine Montoya of Bowls, fifth with a 19:01. On the boys' side, no local winners there, but St. John's Country Days' Matthew Stratton finishes third place, 16:02 in that event. Cole Rakowski of Bowls, 16:04. Colin Donoski of Bowls, 16:09 to finish fifth. So once again, a good local showing in one of the most prominent cross-country event in the area. We make the jump to football now, and a few weeks ago we told you that St. John's Country Day was canceling its football season, kind of a myriad of reasons why they were doing it. COVID-19, kind of a hangover there with everything with what was going on with that. Low numbers and football team. They're a small school, remember, very small school. They announced this week that they are coming back to play football this year. That's right, they're going to 8-man football as opposed to the traditional 11-man football. They made that announcement on Tuesday night. They are going to play 8-man football in the Sunshine State Athletic Conference. A good move for St. John's Country Day. Spartans Athletic Director Tracy Livingston said the school and the players and the parents are really excited to get back out on the field. Their first game is October 9th at All Saints Academy. So pretty good news from St. John's Country Day. A lot of local teams in that Sunshine State Athletic Conference. And a couple games this week canceled due to COVID-19. St. Augustine's game against Menendez canceled to possible COVID-19 ramifications there. They want to be safe down there at Menendez, so they are holding off on practice and playing this week. And the Keystone Heights football team, they are going into quarantine until October 9th due to COVID-19 potential exposure there. So some good news and bad news there on the local front for those teams. And another late addition to that COVID cancellations list. Shortly before kickoff tonight, Mandarin and Nice canceled their game. Mandarin had a player test positive. They did not have a chance to go do contract tracing, so that Mandarin and Nice game off on Friday night.
It's our pleasure now to welcome on set a very special guest. We've got the superintendent of Clay County, David Brodsky. And Mr. Superintendent, looking at your resume, man, your DNA is Clay County.
That's for sure. I've been in Clay County 30 years as an assistant principal, teacher, coach, assistant superintendent, now superintendent of schools.
You know, during this summer, we didn't think we'd be sitting here on a Friday night with the game going on behind us. We had turmoil each week, updates each week. Are we going to be back in school? And you were at the forefront of that a lot in Clay County.
We're just so proud to be back at school. 6th week of school right now, going well. We're proud to have athletics back. We started back in athletics June 14th. And now we're proud to have Friday Night Lights here in Clay County.
And I know, Mr. Superintendent, I can tell you're a wily veteran. The ball cap and the shirt.
That's right. If you're superintendent, you got to represent everybody. Everybody's important. Love both these schools, Orange Park High School and Ridgeview High School. Hope for a great game tonight.
And not to date anybody because I'm as old as anybody, but you have seen really the maturation of Clay County schools. You know, at one point they were just popping up 40 years ago, but you've seen the maturation. Talk about it.
You know what? When I first started, it was 1989, and now Clay County has just grown. As a community, we've grown. One thing we've always been proud of in Clay County is our schools and our athletic program. So it's great to be here tonight representing both of these schools as superintendent.
There was no Oakleaf in '89. There was no Fleming Island. There was no Ridgeview in 1989.
And that's correct. Correct. But Orange Park is one of the stalwarts of Clay County, so we're glad to be here tonight.
I'll tell you one thing, though. I'll let you go. It's a political year, obviously, and I love the way you're doing it, representing. I'll let you go about your business, Mr. Superintendent, but we appreciate your time and your hospitality.
Thanks so much. Great to be here. Good to be here with you guys.
From the superintendent to our academic tip of the week, here is Kennedy Talley with that tip presented by the Florida State College at Jacksonville.
Thanks, Terry. This week's tip, brought to you by Florida State College at Jacksonville, is going to focus on managing your test anxiety. 2 quick test anxiety tips are to 1, take breaks. Sitting at a computer for 5 hours or doing any task for an extended period of time can put a strain on you. If your back already aches and you have already run out of ideas about your task, try walking for a little bit or make a cup of tea to relax you. And number 2, think positive. Don't tell yourself negative things like, I'm not good at this or I'm going to fail this class. Doing so lowers your confidence, and this can directly affect your performance on tests and assignments. One of the best ways you can counteract negative thoughts is to replace them with positive ones. For High School 912 Roundup, I'm Kennedy Talley. More with Terry and Justin after the break.
Duval is a big place, so you need to get a lot of mileage out of what you drive. At Duval Motor Company, we put service first. With complimentary service loaner vehicles and multiple locations to serve you, our service teams take care of you by providing repair services for every make and model. Ford, Honda, Acura, Subaru, Chevrolet, and everything in between. We've got Duval covered when it comes to service. Any make, any model, any location. DuvalMotorCompany.com.
Pop Warner football is coming to Orange Park High School. That's right, the inaugural First Coast Bowl series will begin on November 14th. All youth football teams are invited to participate, ages 6 through 14. The event will pit teams of different leagues against teams out of their league. Visit airstreamventures.com/bowl for information and to register. Welcome back to the show, and Justin, behind us, we've got a battle of Clay County that might be a little surprising late in this first half.
Yeah, it's scoreless game right now, but again, when you look at 2 county teams, 2 rivals separated by a few miles, you hear the old cliche, you can throw out the records, and I think you do that in a close game like this. These 2 teams on the season, records I don't think are indicative of the quality in a rivalry game like this. So Orange Park leads this all-time series 11-7. They first played in 2002, and this series has seen very cyclical waves in it. Orange Park has won the last couple games in this series, trying to add another one on tonight. They're the decided underdog, but again, as I mentioned, rivalry games do not subscribe to those theories that we do.
We've got a pretty good game tonight going on in Clay County. We're back in Duval next week. Rains heads over to Sandalwood. What about that one?
Yeah, very good Gateway Conference game. And this one, Rains has had the upper hand the last 3 years. Sandalwood was led by Jeff Sims at quarterback last year. They've got new faces on the roster. Rains has a new coach in Donovan Maslin, so a lot of good storylines heading into an old-fashioned, good old conference Gateway game.
Time to take us around the highlights, Justin. As always on a Friday night, a lot of stuff going on.
We show you the main game of the week here behind us, but we have got a lot more in Week 5 across the First Coast. Let's go to the highlights right now. Beautiful view at Atlantic Coast on Friday night. Fletcher in the black tops, Atlantic Coast in the gray. Game tied 7-all at halftime. Fletcher comes out to start the second half, and they ride the legs of Miles Montgomery. This touchdown run by Miles puts Fletcher up 14-7. Senators defense here forces a quick 3-and-out. Short field position leads to a quick field goal, 17-7 Senators. Atlantic Coast answers. Ridge Jacobs to Patrick Bryant over the middle. Bryant runs through 2 would-be tacklers, heads for the sideline, finally dragged down inside the 10, 29 yards on the play. Atlantic Coast settles for a field goal. Fletcher in the fourth quarter. Montgomery puts the final touches on a big game, scores on a 3rd and goal from the 1, and that does it. 24-14 Senators. They move on with the win, 3-1 now. Lee in the blue visiting Middleburg in the black tops. First play of the game, Generals quarterback Kale Zara down the seam to Jeremy Robinson, goes for 37 into Broncos territory. Later in the drive, 3rd and goal from the 3. Kalezar again to David Herring Jr. in the back of the end zone. Generals take an early 7-0 lead, and they go on to win big in this one, 55-8. Parker in the black pants at Reigns in the white. First quarter, no score. Vikings driving. Carlton Butler swing pass. Micah McGee, and McGee is down the sidelines and gone. 7-0 Reigns. Parker comes back, races a 14-0 halftime deficit, 20-14 Braves with a huge regular season win. West Nassau hosting First Coast. The pregame pageantry at West Nassau, always something to see. First Coast gets off to the fast start. Number 7, Damian Delani makes the play. Can't tell if it's a fumble or a pick, but it's a turnover. First Coast takes over, and the Bucks would capitalize. Larry Edwards finds Jalen Evans on the wheel route. Wide open touchdown. Bucks up 6-0. They go on to win 28-21. And another good week of highlights on the First Coast in the books.
Thanks a lot, Justin. We appreciate your hard work. Now, stay right where you're at. You know what part of the show's coming up next. Right here on this set, we will bring you a winning coach and a winning player.
High School 912 Roundup is brought to you by CSI Company, Duval Motor Company, and Bono's Barbecue.
CSI, headquartered in Jacksonville, is a nationally recognized staffing company with 4 divisions: CSI Professional, CSI Healthcare IT, CSI Tech, and CSI Financial.
The industry has changed a lot through technology, but in reality, it's still people business. The client wants a particular type of person for a particular type of job, and it's our job to find the right fit for that client.
We have a strategic approach, so it's not just about sending candidates your way. It's learning your culture, your environment, the type of people that work well in that environment, and try to find the talent that's the right fit for you the first time.
For CSI, we want to develop a long-term relationship, and we have a lot of salespeople that are still working with the same clients all these years later because they work hard, they do a great job, but they've built that relationship over time.
We've been around for 25 years now, and the fundamentals of our success are our people. That's what this is all about. We're a people business, so we're here to stay.
It has gone final in Clay County. We have Ridgeview defeating Orange Park by the score of 18-14. Ridgeview comes down Blanding Boulevard just a little ways, and they get a win. Time to talk to the winning coach and a winning star player. We'll start with Coach Canals first. Coach, a little bit of a slow start tonight. Did you see that coming? What do you attribute that to?
Yeah, I've only been here a year, and kind of looking at the past years, it kind of looked like that Fleming week. It was a real emotional week, lost a couple years in a row, and it just kind of trickled down, So kind of my message to the team today was, we're not going to be that team. And especially at halftime, we reiterated it that we're not going to be that team that goes downhill. We're better than that. We're climbing further than that. So I think that Fleming loss really beat us up, not just physically, but emotionally.
And you look at the Orange Park team, the opponent tonight, 0-3 coming in. Big night here, senior night, a lot of recognition. And Orange Park, boy, they're pitching in the end zone inside the 10 at the end. What do you see from your vantage point, those last couple passes by Orange Park?
Yeah, I thought we had downs 1 through 3 covered pretty well. Jason Smith, our defense coordinator, does a great job here. But 4th down, looks like they had a matchup they wanted, and they went for it. And I'll tell you what, it's a blessing it didn't get in his hands for us, because that was it. Yeah. And that quarterback has a bright future, I can tell you that.
We got a guy on set that was even closer to some of those pass attempts by Orange Park. Your star player, Eddie Whipple. Eddie, a hell of a night tonight. 3 touchdowns offensively. But boy, the game came down to you guys on defense fighting off Orange Park. Talk about it.
Emotions were running high, it's just a blessing to pull it out and get the win, because we couldn't take another L no more. We fought Fleming game, we fought hard. Sure. We just got beat up physically, and our minds wasn't there, so we had to come back and get the dub.
18-14 final score. Coach, congratulations. 3-1. You've got Middleburg looking to go 4-1. We appreciate your time. I know you want to go celebrate and get with your team. Thanks a lot, guys.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
We appreciate your time. That'll wrap things up this week for our High School 912 show. Now, remember, next week, another full slate of tremendous games. This schedule brought to you by Land South Construction. That'll wrap it up for the entire production crew and, of course, my co-host, Justin Barney. I'm Terry Norvell. We'll see you next week. As we get out of here, enjoy this final look around the entire scoreboard presented by Baker Sports. and the YMCA.
High School 912 would like to say thank you to all of our proud partners.